Hello visionaries! Welcome to your final week of December of Powerhouse Era Live, and today we are going to be talking about becoming more visible in 2026 and very specifically being more intentional about your visibility and elevating your visibility strategy with a brand identity and elevated identity forward approach. Now I want to remind you, if you are not on the Wealthy Visionary newsletter list, make sure you are there because you will receive the replays, and I also have the replays cross-recorded for my YouTube channel. I'm filming for YouTube right now. So all of those will be there available for you as well if you want to watch them on 2x speed, captions, all of that. But for any of you who are new here, hello, my name is Kait Visser. And I am a brand and business coach and honestly life coach and mentor at this point by trade. I am a visionary by nature. I am an ADHD baddie. I'm a multi-passionate, and I have 10 years of entrepreneurial experience, and I have 7 years of experience as a business coach. 2026 is going to be my 8th year in my business coaching business. Very excited. And doing this series felt relevant, and it felt really good to share because I know that 2026 is going to be one of my biggest years yet in business. And what I'm going to share with you today is a direct catalyst of that. It's the things that are going to shift that momentum, not only in my vision and my confidence, but in my momentum and my strategy. And so these are mindset shifts, and these are also strategic shifts that I've started to see immediate results from. So you're probably like me in that in 2026, you want to still hold room for your authority and your expertise. You know you're good at what you do, and maybe you're not representing it at the level you know you're capable of, and it should be represented at. And you feel frustrated that maybe you're not being seen or understood at that level. But yet also, you know that you're very visionary, very expansive, and you want a brand on the personal branding spectrum. But you also don't want to become a full-blown just creator or influencer. Or maybe you're somewhere in the middle. You have more of a creator brand or more of an expert brand. But one thing you know for certain is that sorry, I just want to make sure my mic is on. I just realized I'm not sure if it's on. One moment here. Is it on? I think I see the green light. If you hop on live, let me know if you can hear me. Anyways, one thing that you know for certain is that you don't want to be niched down into an expert doing one thing, and you also don't want to be a full-blown personal brand creator where you feel like you're lacking in your full potential or your authority or your leadership, because you are good at what you do and you're not trying to escape that, but you know that maybe your brand isn't growing and your content isn't being received because you are on the edge of something, and it's an edge of not necessarily running away from what you've been doing, but you know you need to be elevating and expanding your brand to hold more space for an expanded version of you, for an expanded and elevated identity. And so that's what we're going to be exploring today, and this is the exact work that we do inside of Personal Brand Powerhouse, which is my brand new identity transformation and brand strategy elevation program, which is pre-launching right now. You can find out more in my Instagram highlights, but I'm so passionate about this work because I went through a deep rebrand and really self-transformation in end of 22 and 23 that started to come into fruition in 2024 and 2025, and I know is fully taking flight this year. And that shift was that I didn't want to just be an expert anymore. I didn't want to have a signature program and just a signature tagline. And I played around with the idea for a while. Do I just want to be like a personal brand creator? Am I growing out of being a coach? But that didn't feel right either, and I played around. I fell forward or fell backward into the void of the messy middle for a while and pivoted and slowed down and tried to figure out, who am I? And through that transformation, I had to realize it's not that I don't want to do what I'm doing anymore, it's just that I know that I've outgrown this container. And I want to speak to that for a moment because sometimes your lack of visibility in your brand is almost subconsciously created, because you may be thinking, oh, I need to bring more visibility to my social media, I need to bring more visibility to my offers, but often there's a reason why your brain isn't allowing you to go all in on how you are currently positioning yourself, going all in on your content with your current messaging structure, going all in on bringing more visibility to your offers, fully doing everything that feels aligned in your selling, in your launches, in your sales goals and efforts, because subconsciously you are self-rejecting, you are afraid of self-sabotaging, you have the desire to receive, but you are not actually open to receiving. And that does bleed through and that does trickle through into your social media visibility and account growth. I know this for a fact because this is the exact transformation that I have experienced. Once I stopped just seeing myself as just a coach, just an expert, just a niched expert that was just here to serve you, I'm just here to solve your problems, like that's part of my job. But my greater job is to be me. It's to be the best version of me, and it's to show up for the vision that I'm creating. And then here are the expertise that feel the most aligned and most expansive for me to be sharing. And sharing those very intentionally in an elevated way, not in a way that comes from lack, but in a way that comes from vision, in a way that comes from identity. That's the shift that we need for more scaling. It's not just a container problem. It's not just a systems problem. Because here's the thing, you could land some really great visibility opportunities. You could start running ads. But even when you get the sales, even when you grow those offers, think about for a moment, if you actually reach that big visibility and growth, brand growth goal, and those big sales and launch goals with what you currently have right now, how would that feel for you? I'm not just talking about the money, I'm talking about showing up for that version of you. Showing up to continue to be that person, to do that thing. This is what we need to be speaking about. Because scaling is doing more of what you love. Anything is going to take effort. So you better know that you are loving who you are being and what you are playing all out for. I do not believe that you have to have one core signature offer, you have to necessarily be niche down, you do have to have structure and strategy, but we have to allow ourselves to start seeing it in a new way if we're going to start to generate different results, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I think that same thing is happening unconsciously, very well intentioned, with a lot of our social media accounts, with a lot of our growth and sales goals. You know you're capable, you know you deserve it, you know you're qualified, you have the experience, you're a good person, you feel capable of holding the wealth, or you're on that journey. But why aren't you allowing yourself to shift into this expanded identity and start playing by your vision, start playing by an identity-forward approach when you keep showing up unconsciously from space of lack? That right there, that little piece alone is something that you can chew on and journal on as you are going into the new year to help your visibility strategy. But these are truly the real obstacles and catalysts that can make it or break it for you. Everybody desires growth. Everybody desires visibility. But will you become available for the person who is going to become visible? Are you willing to lead, build, shift into that new expanded container that can hold that growth? And that doesn't even necessarily mean you have to be a high ascension, a high authority thought leader and high ascension, high ticket brand. There are so many different ways to position your brands and your offers and your sales edge in an authentic way. In my Personal Brand Powerhouse course, I actually introduce a simple but very powerful 3 core growth archetypes that I have discovered really fit most entrepreneurs and visionaries as a whole. You either are usually someone who's expanding, anchoring down, or ascending up. And most of the times we think of growing our businesses and our brands as we have to become the ascender, we have to become this ultimate leader. And for some of you that may work, that may be your edge. But I kept not being able to see myself in that way, and I would try that on really being an authority-led brand for a while, and it felt good when it led to results, but then I didn't feel like I could fully be myself, or I could integrate the creative parts of me. So again, there's that disconnection, that self-rejection. And so your brand and your business model needs to be able to scale with you as you are bringing more visibility to it. And that's what I love about Personal Brand Powerhouse, because it sets you up for welcoming in the most visibility and the most rejection you will ever receive, which is going to bring you to your best results. Because you become so clear and so confident on who you are, what your brand is, your archetype, your voice, your positioning, your subliminals, your top-down expanded message, and how you are going to lead and grow your wealthy brand movement authentically, and how to bring a more brand-forward and identity-forward approach into your offers. When you're at that space of like, I know exactly who I am, I know how I am leading my brand, how I want to be growing, you know exactly who you want to be working with and who you don't. You know how you want to be growing your offers, how you want to be scaling, and how you don't. Because just because something is working for someone else does not mean it's going to be right for you. I am obsessed with all things, putting it energetically wise, feeling like your business can be most aligned and authentic to you, creating a clear energetic pathway. That's reflected a lot in manifestation. And I think we have to look at that in a neuroscience lens of I'm obsessed with creating a clear neural pathway for you to go all in for your dreams and to be most available for them. And so whatever you want to include in that journey, in that package of human design, or your faith and spirituality, your personal values, your interests, your hobbies, personality characteristics, whatever you want to bring along for the journey that makes you feel most ready, most you, most aligned, bring it all together. But at the end of the day, it's here to serve you, to help you find full conviction within yourself and the direction you're going, and to go all in on what you're building, and to remain open to receiving and regulated, or being able to return to regulation throughout the growth journey. And so I have been on that journey for this past year, and in the past couple months, I have really taken that clear and confident identity-led approach to my TikTok growth, to my YouTube, my Instagram. And I just want to say, I need to brag, because I went through a several-year period of my social media accounts being dead, because I felt dead. I had desire, but I was dealing with a whole slew of things, autoimmune health struggles, figuring out my new direction and my rebrand, trauma, some things, life as it is. But I had to allow myself to continue to believe that I had wealth within me to become wealthy, and to give myself permission to continue to move towards more of what felt good, and not shaming myself for I'm not there yet, or it should look this way, or I should be doing it like this person, it should have arrived sooner. I think the closer you get to the person you want to be, who can show up for the results you want, and the more permission and the more energetic space in your life that you create for what you're wanting to create, being able to bring your vision forward, like, the closer those results are going to happen. Very simply speaking, you can't show up to do the job if you're constantly questioning who you're being, what you're doing, in your direction. You know, leading to those constant cycles of self-sabotage and stagnation and growth and pivoting and rebranding. Because that was my story for many years, but now I have a clear direction and vision, and so that's translated into a very clear, expanded messaging strategy, which I teach you inside Personal Brand Powerhouse. And with that new lens, I started to create a more expanded identity, vision, and strategic approach that I wanted to show up from. Not just, oh, I need to create content that speaks in authority and talks about my clients' results and serves value as a business coach. I outgrew that. I'm still good at it, but I outgrew only doing that. And I don't even think that's a lack of, in fact, I know, this isn't a lack of discipline or a lack of, I don't know what else to say, lack of discipline issue. If you feel like you are not wanting to show up just talking about your expertise, because sometimes you know you have a greater mission and vision beyond just what you're serving on and selling, and you need to show up for that. You gotta show up for your vision. You gotta show up for yourself. Of course, business becomes robotic and monotonous in some ways, but like, you get to build it in a way that feels intentional and good for you and expansive for you. Why not build your dream brand and business now? You have to take that approach. Because I think when you take that approach, you'll feel so excited to show up to your social media and create. I'm so not worried about like, oh no, I shouldn't be showing up this much. This is not fully optimized. I should only have to post on social media this many days. I feel like when we get obsessed with this like hyper optimization where it's like, oh, I should not have to show up on social media this much, I feel like that's also speaking from a subconscious place of like, I'm self-rejecting in my business because I don't have the energy to show up anymore. So there's a disconnect there between I want to optimize because I'm scaling and I want to conserve my energy, and I'm self-rejecting myself in this current version of my identity and business model. And I don't have any more energy or fucks to give to show up at this state. This is where I work with clients. Because I've had clients coming to me who are making 10, 20, 40, 50K months, and they're making the money, but they're like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, something's got to change. Like, I don't even care about the money at this point. You've got to love who you're being and what you're doing, and you have to be able to show up going, I'm so excited because I am creating this vision, and I am here to be this person, and I feel like that energy is received. And it's not just the energy will be received. Like, you could show up in a post and be excited and show up in another post and not be excited, and they could still perform the same. I mean, this unveils a new lens of strategy as well. I love blending the holistic side with the strategic side because I want you to get results. So I want you to know that visibility becomes natural and it becomes more easy when you feel clear, confident, and grounded in your identity, in your vision, and in your direction. And so I call this is partly what I call following your dopamine direction, and it's not just what gives you dopamine, it's kind of like your go all in ability. It's neural manifestation, allowing yourself to show up fully and to go all in on what you want. And then from that space, I think we can start to become more intentional with our visibility and operating more from a space of how do I bring more visibility to this movement of wealth and not this problem of lack. Look at that. Look at your current content strategy and visibility strategy from that lens right there. Write that down. How can I be approaching, insert whatever you're working on, content strategy, marketing, launching, visibility strategy, from a space of building wealth and not from a problem of lack? Ooh, I need that on a sweatshirt. Wealthy visionary vibes, yes. Like, those little mindset shifts alone, that can catapult such amazing breakthroughs for you. Like, you don't realize just how capable and smart you are and just how good things can get. I am not saying this as just a business coach. I am saying this from a human with lived experience through this. I felt so victimized in my own brand and in my own business. Can't speak. My own business for way too many years, because I saw everybody growing around me and hitting these big sales results and goals, and I'm like, why isn't this possible for me? And I was like, well, I'm gonna be even nicer than these people, and I'm gonna help people even more. I started creating this like enemy complex and reconditioning my victimhood complex around why am I not there yet? And when you're unconscious, you're not looking at your growth journey and your results through a growth-minded mindset, and when you are not in a space of mentorship and of identity, calibration, and grounding, it gets really easy to unconsciously slip back into these patterns of trying to prove yourself, trying to like win attention. Because of course you're posting for likes, you're posting for engagement, you're posting for sales. That's we want those metric goals. But we want to make sure that you aren't setting up your messaging, your offers, your launches, your content in a way that is mimicking someone else, is inauthentic to who you are and how you are actually operate in your business with people, and doesn't speak to or give space for the direction you're growing in. This definitely is a very good lens to look at from a top-down approach, bringing it into the bottom line of your visibility strategy. So how does that translate to social media growth? Well, you can learn more about that inside Personal Brand Powerhouse, and I have shared and will share more about this on my YouTube channel and on the Wealthy Visionary newsletter list, and I may just have a class coming out soon on TikTok growth. And if you are ready to make sure that you are holding yourself at a higher caliber of identity-led leadership and mindful building, so you can have the ability to scale to multiple six figures and beyond, or maintain it, I want you to get your booty on the wait list for my membership, which is going to be relaunching the end of January, reopening end of January/February. It has a different name right now that it's going to have. It is going to have a little rebrand, but in this space, in this house, I will say, in the house of my membership, this is going to be a space for you to drop in for just that, identity calibration and keeping yourself grounded, clear, and convicted towards your vision. So making sure that you are holding yourself to a higher standard and operating from not just the space of a CEO mindset, operating from an intentional space, from your own vision, from your own values, intentional growth that you're going to want more of, that you're going to like, that you're going to feel at home in. Because you're not just here to win attention on social media. You're not just here to hopefully make sales. You're here to bring your visionary work to life, and you are here to build your brand world. This is your brand world, and we're all just living in it. That's the main character energy shift that so many people have been talking about. And I feel like just talking about main character energy generally can sometimes be confusing, but that's the shift. Think about, I am building my brand world. I'm building my wealthy brand movement. And so that naturally creates your main character energy. Naturally allows you to show up for more conviction. Stop asking and auditioning for people's attention. Stop proving. Stop trying to think that you are proving. Asking for approval or for permission for your authority and expertise. There is so much more we could talk about. This is why I do what I do, because I love it so much. I'm so excited for the 8th year of Kait Visser coaching, of the Wealthy Visionary, because I know things are going to get even better this year. So if you are ready for moving your brand from just a creator or just an expert, and you are caught in the multi-passionate pendulum swing and explosion of creativity, and you want to make sure that you're setting up your brand positioning, messaging, and building your offers with a visionary and identity-forward approach, Personal Brand Powerhouse is for you. It is that foundation laying, the backbone of your brand strategy, figure-outing, clarity building. And we dive into not just brand strategy, but the mindset work, the identity work, the intentional building, as well as brand visuals, brand subliminals. But those are the types of transformations that we provide you inside Powerhouse. Powerhouse is going to be on sale for, it's just $597 today. It's the last day, it's $597. Tomorrow it's going to be going up to $1,500. And then it'll be at a resting price in the new year of $2,000, because there's a group component coming to it. So Powerhouse is a really expansive, full-bodied course, and it is built for visionary, multi-passionate, and very specifically ADHD brains. So I'm very intentional with how I've built the course. It is a quality body of work. I feel like you almost have to explicitly express that these days. Not every course, just because you know value, doesn't mean it's provided in a value way. So I've been building offers for 7 years, and I'm really excited about Powerhouse in the content, in the transformation, in the solutions it provides you, because I've built these solutions because I was stuck in that pendulum swing for so many years between I'm an expert, no, I'm a creator, I'm multi-passionate, trying to figure out, how do I create cohesion in my messaging? How do I scale my business? How can I be profitable and still expansive? And I'm a visionary. How do I bring this all together? This is that portal to that identity transformation and that intentional positioning and growth direction that's going to set you up for multiple six figures and beyond. If you're ready for, and you know you're needing that accountability and you want to be in that calibration container for 2026, get your name on the Growth Gateway membership waitlist. Like I said, the name will be changing, but it's Growth Gateway right now. I have a free experience coming up also in January, which is at the edge. If you know you're in that space right now, literally at the edge, like I'm at the edge of something great. I have ideas. I know I'm up leveling. I'm ready for growth in 2026. I need to feel more like a leader. I want to feel ready. I want to feel grounded in my identity. I want to feel ready to show up for this vision. At the edge is for you. I'm going to be pushing you over the edge. We're going to be creating an internal safety net, allowing your brain to go all in, to welcome in growth, be ready to receive. If you're ready for deeper coaching and mentorship support, if you are already at multiple six figures and you are at the edge of building that brand world, of expanding more into a multi-passionate brand world building approach to building your business. Maybe you're pivoting, maybe you're rebranding, you can no longer keep burning out, and you know you're capable of achieving more. That's what my Visionary One-on-One mentorship is for, and I will be opening up very few limited spots for that in 2026, so you can DM me about that. And I'm offering a few spots in the new year for intensives, so you can always work with me through an intensive first to make sure that we feel aligned and embodied working together and most expansive for your growth journey. Anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for you. Thank you for continuing to show up for your vision. Thank you for continuing to be open for the next level of you, being open to receive, even through all that life throws you, the trauma, the setbacks, the day-to-day mundaneness, and through all the magic. Life keeps lifing for all of us, but it is your choice of how you want to perceive yourself and the world and your identity, and you get to keep choosing your vision and your dreams and this elevated version of you. And I'm really, really excited for you. I'm excited for your brand growth. I'm excited for your results. I'm excited to celebrate you in 2026. And I hope I get to celebrate you. So if you do anything in 2026, stay plugged in here. Stay plugged in to at least the Wealthy Visionary email newsletter list, my YouTube channel, my TikTok. I'm on TikTok several times a day. I'm on Instagram just about every day. At least stay plugged into my content, because you are about to go on Mr. Toad's wild ride. Wacky ride. That's my favorite ride at Disneyland. You are about to go on a journey with me into our personal brand powerhouse eras. I'm going to be showing up at an ungodly, sickening level, and you will learn a thing or two. You will expand with me if you stay plugged in.